Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bitcoin Yala. My name is Scott, and today we're going to talk about the March 7th Crypto Summit. That is tomorrow. Okay, very, very significant. And for you people that are newer to Bitcoin, this is huge. This is so big, I have to go back. I got to show you this image I put together. The Crypto Summit. Many people are folding their hands and saying a prayer before this summit because it's they're going to talk about some very important things that will affect Bitcoin going forward. So that's something to pay attention to. But really, it's a historic event. This is the first time the White House has held a crypto summit in the White House to talk specifically about Bitcoin and a few other cryptocurrencies and the legislation that will be enacted. It's a big discussion, very important topics, and we're hoping for some pleasant surprises to surprise us all, but we'll see. But let's get right into the video today. $87,000 Bitcoin today. And as you can see here, let me move my face out of the way. You can see that Bitcoin is going in a sideways fashion right now. We'll see what happens after tomorrow. My guesstimation is that it really won't affect the price too much. It may go up a little bit, but it really depends on what the news is that Trump unveils. If there's any bombshell announcements, then of course the price would follow and go up. But if it's the same rhetoric, the same type of thing that I'm expecting, is just more talk at this point, because it takes time for the political system to put the laws and the things in place to help Bitcoin along and the other cryptos along. So, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. A lot of the key leaders in the Bitcoin space will be there. So I know my crypto hero, Michael Saylor, he's my hero in the game, and he'll be there. So I'm looking forward to it from that standpoint. But so let's move on. I just want to share a few quick things with you today to help prepare you for the March 7th Crypto Summit. So let's jump right into it. The first thing I want to share with you is I'm going to share with you two things. One thing is going to be the significance. I'm going to play a short clip from CNBC talking about Bitcoin, and then I'm going to show you how, in my opinion, a large contributing factor that's going to help us get to a $1 million Bitcoin. But first, I want to show you this quick clip. This is from CNBC, so let's have a look at this.
Just look at the technicals. 82,000's the 200-day for Bitcoin. You really can't look at IBIT. It hasn't been around enough. This is an asset class, or this is security, or whatever you're going to call it, a commodity, that the buyers come in on drawdowns and buy the dip every time. We've seen numerous 30, 50, 70% drawdowns. They come in every time, and then it makes new highs. And so I think we definitely have a Congress that is pro-crypto. I think the SEC will be pro-crypto. The White House is pro-crypto. And so I think we're going to have a good 4 years. But understand, volatility is the price of admission if you are going to tiptoe into this space.
What about Josh Brown? Is he pro-crypto? That's the question. Don't
And the key thing to take away from there is the fact that Bitcoin, anytime there's dips, as she mentioned, people come in, institutions are coming in and buying up these dips. These crashes, quote, quote, that we have from time to time, they are gobbled up by big institutions, nation states, states, universities, you name it. People are coming in and buying up the dips. So anytime the Bitcoin price drops, people are buying it up, which causes the price to go up, sometimes sideways when people sell again. But so that gives some further credence for you newer people out there who are afraid of Bitcoin. You just heard it from CNBC, them talking about how when it dips or crashes, institutions or people with very deep pockets are coming in and buying it up. So that should give you some confidence about Bitcoin. So let's move on to the next clip I wanted to show you really quickly. And this is a preview to the summit coming up. This is on Fox. So let's have a look and listen, and here we go.
Announced plans for a crypto strategic reserve. It would, the US would buy and sell cryptocurrency and put it into this reserve. Could be a game changer. Brock Pierce is the chair of the Bitcoin Foundation and joins me now. A lot of people not happy with this reserve. They say you can't put 4 or 5 cryptos into it. It'd be like a mutual fund or more like a hedge fund. You've got to have just one crypto, Bitcoin. Okay, I'm droning on. What do you say?
Well, so I certainly the Bitcoin maximalists have that position. Obviously, all of the other crypto people would love to have participation in such a historic thing that really changes the entire profile of the industry. It's like the difference between day and night now that the U.S. government is behind the work that we do. But yeah, Bitcoin is generally thought of as digital gold. Certainly the one that is the most obvious to sit on the U.S. government balance sheet, since we hold physical gold. We'll see how much is in Fort Knox ultimately.
Do you doubt that it's there? I mean, some people say, look, somebody's been taking gold out of Fort Knox and using it for nefarious purposes. You don't believe that, do you?
Well, I saw a Project Veritas video of someone talking about throwing gold bars off the Titanic. I don't think they meant literal bars, but we'll see. I don't like to speculate on things that I don't know, but like many, I think we're curious. Glad to see all this government savings. And for us in the crypto industry, you know, this is the moment we've all been waiting for.
But do you want the reserve to be strictly Bitcoin?
I think we're past that point. So it's not up to me. Our president has made a decision with excellent advisors. They've talked about Ethereum being in. They said Ethereum. They said XRP. They said Solana. They said ADA Cardano. So it is what it is. And the big winner out of that is obviously Cardano, up 30-40% over the last week since this announcement, and Ethereum being the big loser, which with this announcement, shockingly down 10%.
The Senate voted to repeal a Biden-era rule that requires some cryptocurrency platforms to report their customers' transactions to the IRS. That's been repealed. They don't have to report to the IRS. I take it you would vigorously approve of that.
Well, I think the last administration was getting very onerous in terms of IRS expansion, reporting and otherwise, and I'm happy to see the country on track with life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I don't think any of us want to see an IRS that is heavily expanded with even more reporting requirements than we already have.
Okay, let's move on to the first ever crypto summit. It's on Friday. It's in the White House. What do you want to hear?
Well, I think it's the moment when we look back in history where we have a bit of a preview, but that's the moment where I think we're going to look at that date, March 7th. 2025 is the day where we went from being in the shadows to acknowledged and recognized by the greatest government in the world. And with that, the rest of the world will follow. So we're going to hear about the strategic reserve. We'll probably have greater sense. And I imagine there's going to be some additional announcements that are going to be just as exciting. So I'm eager to get to D.C. I'll be on my way back tomorrow. And
you're going to the crypto summit?
Yeah.
All right, there you have it. So that was pretty good there. That was a nice little preview of the crypto summit coming up, giving some information on Bitcoin and how that's a historic event for the crypto summit coming up, the different cryptos that will be there and involved. Very exciting, very historic moment. So I wanted to share that with you as well. So very excited for tomorrow. I know I'll be watching, listening, and waiting to see what they say. And but I wanted to bring you this short, quick preview to let you know what to look out for. Now, many of you have been emailing me, asking me, how is Bitcoin going to get to $1 million? Because people keep saying the $1 million number, and it's of course going beyond that, but that's a big benchmark. So here's one of the things I wanted to show you how that happens. Okay, how it happens is going back to this Bitcoin laws page that I talked about in some previous videos. There's a total of 19 states with live strategic Bitcoin reserves in the court system right now. Okay, so those things are moving along through the process. You can see all the orange states here are states that are moving it through the process now. The black states do not currently have them live, moving through the bureaucratic system. So very exciting. 24 total states, and there's 33 states that have a total of 73 measures in them. Now, to show you how it works and how we get to $1 million, let's take Texas, for example. And the reason why I'm picking Texas is because we had some news today out of Texas. Okay, you click on Texas, you can see what's going on here. There's two different pieces of legislation going through. But the one I want to show you is one that was voted on today, and that's the SB 21. That's this one. So if we click the drop down, you can see where they are in the process. I really like this view. And it was introduced. They went to Committee 1, Chamber 1, Committee 2, and it was voted on today. And how I know that, you don't see that here, but what I did is some further research. So I went to their state website, okay, and I saw that here's the action today. It was voted and passed today, okay, March 6th. So then I thought to myself, okay, what does that mean? It was passed. Does that mean it's into law? Does that mean, what does it mean? So I dug a little deeper so that you don't have to. And here's what I found. I went and I clicked on, where is it? Bill stages. And this is where we are today. So it was first filed, then it went to out of Senate committee, then it was voted by the Senate today, March 6th. It's March 6th today at 9:30 p.m., 9:33, and it was a landslide vote. Okay, so it was voted, let's see, here it is, 10 ayes, I is a yes, okay, 0 nays, nays or no's, and one person wasn't there. One person called in sick. But took the day off. But so 10 people voted yes. So that means that it went through and passed through the Senate. So to see where we are, what we have left to do in the state of Texas, they still have to go to the House committee and then voted on by the House, the governor action, and then it becomes law. Okay, so there's still a lot of steps to go through, these 4 more major steps to go through before it's considered law. So just wanted to share with you how these things happen. And going back to how does Bitcoin get to $1 million? Well, this is another view of it, okay? But how it gets to $1 million is you have several states going through these type of processes. You have all these states, okay? Now the individuals in the states, a lot of them aren't in Bitcoin, right? So this is going to trickle down from the top. Now Bitcoin started from the bottom, but as I mentioned in my last video, a lot of people have got desensitized to all the good news about Bitcoin, okay? And now people are like, what? I keep hearing about it, but I'm not quite sure what it is. I don't really feel like looking into it. That's what the common people keep saying, and then eventually they come on board, and then they say, why didn't I do this earlier, right? And people like me and you are saying, well, we tried to tell you. So anyway, but it's not too late for people. And all of these states are in the process. Now, one thing I want to show you is, where is it? Okay, you go to here, and we can see the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve race, okay? So Utah is leading the way. They're the closest state to getting it all the way across through all the hoops, jumping through all the political hoops to get their Strategic Bitcoin Reserve enacted. Once that happens, woo, look out. Look out. That's when the media will really jump all over it saying, look, we got a Strategic Bitcoin Reserve enacted. It's live and in force and things are happening. And then other states, countries, they're going to say, whoa, the U.S. is really going for it. Maybe we should get in too. They call it game theory. Then the game theory kicks in. But this is the status of the race. And we call it a race because states are trying to get in and start buying their Bitcoin before everyone else does. Why? Because then they can buy it at a lower price than everyone else, which means they can buy more of it. Okay, just like me and you. So that's why I don't mind when Bitcoin is down. Okay, I actually want it to go down a little bit more so I can get more at a lower price. But this is what the landscape of the Bitcoin race for the states. There's a few states that it failed. You can see these here, where these are all dead bills. They tried to get them through, and they were voted against, and they died. But and these are the brand new ones just starting. Okay, and these other ones are moving along the process. So this is, in my opinion, is a big key factor in helping Bitcoin get to $1 million, because this is really going to kick off the game theory. The other countries, some of them are already getting into Bitcoin, but other ones will get in at a faster pace once they see that the U.S. is serious and the U.S. is moving forward. So wanted to share those things with you before the meeting tomorrow. And if there's any big announcements, I'll let you know what they were. Thank you for liking, subscribing. Tell your friends, family about the channel, and I'll see you all on the next one. Go Bitcoin.